Well, let's talk about that matchup. And now the first game tonight is Ole Miss, Michigan State. We'll get to that in a second, but let's talk about Kentucky and Tennessee. It is the second game on the card tonight. 7:39 tip-off in Indianapolis. Tennessee is laying 4.5. Tennessee is minus 210. Kentucky is plus 170. Your total 144.5. As we know, Tennessee has not been able to beat Kentucky this season in 2 tries. Is that going to change tonight?
That's the big question, is it not? And I think it's really difficult to beat a team 3 times in a row in a single season. And I'll say this, I think Tennessee's playing a lot better than they had been playing those past 2 tries against Kentucky. We've seen the emergence of Jordan Gainey in the SEC tournament. It feels like the offense is a little bit better. So maybe I'm leaning towards the over in this one. If you believe in the offense of Tennessee, and I think Kentucky's offense is good enough to go against Tennessee's defense, because Tennessee's defense is really good, but it's not Houston level of good, where I think Kentucky is long and athletic enough to have some guys that can kind of beat some of the sets that Tennessee does. So I think my first initial lean is the over. I think both these offenses are going to get it going. But if we are talking about a spread and we talk about like the bitter blood between these two rivals, I think I'm going to take the points here. We talked about some of the numbers in the first 2 matchups where I think Kentucky shot 50% from the 3-point line. They are not a 3-point shooting team. So one would assume that some regression is going to come, but I do think we see a good game here. And of course, there are going to be tensions flaring after that incident with Zakai Ziegler and his finger.
Oh, and his finger. I wonder if they'll show that tonight during the telecast, and they'll show the picture.
I don't think so.
No,
oh,
what
blurred.
I'm saying, they'll blur it out. Yeah, they'll blur it out and be like, well, this picture has been making the rounds on social media, so an already intense rivalry could be a little more intense this evening after this picture of Zakai Ziegler. Of course, we blurred that out for you. Oh, man, I hope that happens. I'm with you. I'm taking Kentucky in the points in a game that, is going to have this much drama beforehand that we've seen, and the fact that Kentucky matches up so well with the Vols. I agree with your handicap. I will grab the 4.5 with the Wildcats. In the South region, we get Ole Miss and Michigan State. Michigan State is laying 3.5. That opened with the Spartans laying 2.5. Michigan State is minus 180 on the money line. Ole Miss is plus 145. Total has gone up a point from 143 and a hook to 144.5. I think I'm going to be on Michigan State here. I feel like this is where Ole Miss runs out of gas. And this is old hat for Tom Izzo, playing in the 16th Sweet 16 of his career. On the flip side, Rebels haven't made it this far in the tournament since 2001. Now, I know Kate was on the show and she said, I don't know if I like Michigan State at 3.5. I do like it at 2.5. You want to play an alt line, maybe you can do that. But I think we're going to see some negative regression from the Rebels because they shot 58% from the floor and from long range in their win over Iowa State. I don't think that is sustainable against the Spartans. So I'm laying the points with Sparty.
I think there's an interesting question here, and that is, if you are wrong on a team over and over again, do you continue to bet against them? Because I've been wrong about Ole Miss every step of the way. Like, I had North Carolina beating Ole Miss in, like, their first game. And against Iowa State, I didn't see them scoring 91 points against that defense. So do I just sit this one out? Because I'm with you. I think Michigan State is probably the better team in this matchup. But I don't know. I think in betting, we come across these teams that we just don't have a good handle on. Jenks, have you ever been in this position before where there's a team that just stumps you?
Yes. And I think you make a really good point about Ole Miss. Like, they're kind of that team where, okay, they have a great head coach and they have some players, but they're kind of all over the place, and you really can't pin them down. I think and that's part of my handicap, which is they're a little bit inconsistent. Like, you just don't know what you're going to get from these guys. But then again, if they get hot and they play well, I mean, the number's short. They could absolutely win outright at plus 145. But I've been wrong about Ole Miss a lot. So while I'm leaning Michigan State, it's not going to be on my card.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to make the card for me. Would lean Michigan State. Have you seen how crotchety Tom Izzo has been lately, though? It makes me want to pick Michigan State even more. Like, somebody asked him about, like, how much this win would mean to him. And he's like, listen, anything other than, like, a national championship, it doesn't get me going. Or he said it, like, doesn't turn him on. I was like,
Nice.
And then he had that rant about, like, playing the guys that have been in the program the longest, because we showed that grid of like all the teams and all the transfers they've had. Michigan State has 4 homegrown guys on their starting 5. So the fire that I've seen from Tom Izzo, I feel like I want to pick him even more in this game.
I don't
I
like
don't
the
want to see what
foreplay.
turns him on.
I like the real deal, guys. I like the real deal. That's the title. And we move on from that. We won't delve into that. Number 5, Michigan taking on the 1 seed Auburn in the South region. Auburn laying 8.5. Auburn minus 425. Michigan is plus 325. Your total is 153.5. This spread has come down a point from Auburn minus 9.5. I am on Michigan plus 8.5. I think this number is too much. I love the way the Wolverines are playing right now. They have the size to bang down low with Auburn and Janai Broome. And, of course, if they get guard play as well to go along with Vlad Golden and Danny Wolf, they are formidable. So I'm going to take the points.
Well, if you liked 8.5, you're going to love 9.5, because that's the current number over BetMGM. I think we saw this last night, in some of these games that were a little bit closer, because even Duke didn't cover their number against Arizona. So sometimes it just feels like 9.5 is too many points, especially for an Auburn team that has, down the stretch has not played up to the level, of what they played for most of the season. So I think Michigan can keep it within 10, especially because of the size down low. Like you mentioned, if anybody can go toe to toe with Auburn, I think it's probably Michigan with their 2 tall guys down low. And plus, I think Chad Baker-Mazara is dealing with some injuries. I don't know. And we've seen from Janai Broome that sometimes he doesn't make his free throws down the stretch. I will not be losing a bet because somebody misses a damn free throw, or they go to the line and go 0 for 2. So I'm going to stay away from this game. But if I did play it, it would be on Michigan getting the 9.5.
Finally, Chelsea, in the Midwest, Indianapolis, Indiana. It is the late game. The 4 seed Purdue taking on the 1 seed Houston. Houston laying 8.5. Houston minus 400. The Boilers are 3-1 to win outright. Total is 131.5. That has come down from 132.5. I'm on the Cougs. Go Cougs. Go Cougs. Is it too many points?
I don't know, because I do think it's going to be low scoring. So I think there's multiple ways to attack this. You could go with an under and say, okay, Houston's defense is the best in the land by a landslide, and Purdue's going to have trouble getting going, because we know Purdue has really good guard play with Braden Smith, but I don't think they've faced a defense like Houston's thus far. So I think it's going to have an issue scoring points in this one. Their team total is pretty low, though. You can get under 62.5 for minus 140. Jenks, would you go that route? Like, Houston's been, suffocating on defense.
Yeah, I think that's a good play. And also, Purdue is 2 of the best guards in the country. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
But they are guard heavy. And I feel like if that Houston defense slows down the Boilers there, then all of a sudden that team total hits or the under hits.